Hello guys, and welcome back to the Volks Wizard channel. This year I've decided to make more diverse car content, and whilst Volkswagen will always remain my favourite brand, there are many brands I have a lot of respect for and want to share with you on the channel. And what better brand to start that off with than the one credited for creating the first ever automobile, Mercedes-Benz. Today, me and my friend Stephen,
hello,
who's been on the channel before, we're here at the amazing Mercedes World in Surrey to take in the full Mercedes brand experience. We're going to drive their cars, we're going to look at the exhibitions, we're even going to drive their simulators as well. Will we leave today as converts to Stuttgart, forgetting all our love for Wolfsburg? Let's find out. Okay, well, welcome to Mercedes World here at Brooklands. Just want to give you a tour of what you can see inside before we go and do the driving experiences later on. The important thing to say about this place is that it's free to visit, and you can see the cars on display, you can go and watch what's going on track for free, which we were quite surprised about.
Yeah, very accessible.
It's had 3 million visitors since it was opened in 2006, and it's kind of grown to be more of an experience centre than just a sort of showroom. But you can have your car serviced here, you can buy new and you can buy used as well. But if you're just in the area and you want to come and have a look around, or go to one of the cafes, it's so good, we're wondering why we haven't been here in those 15 years that it's been open. Now, I did mention in the introduction that Mercedes Carl Benz actually invented the first car, and over the years that developed into Mercedes-Benz. I didn't really expect to find one here in the foyer, but there is the 1886 Benz Patent Motorcar Model 1. Right, but things have moved on quite a lot, and within a few footsteps you can see one of the new electric EQs over there, which is quite a stunning car in the metal. It's the sort of super aero shape of it that kind of gets me. It clearly looks like it's trying to create as little drag as possible to increase the range, which makes me kind of wonder why there are so many electric SUVs when this is probably the ideal shape to get the most out of the electricity. Anyway, on to the classics then. So I suppose we better go around in sort of date order. Let's just do this kind of quickly. So we have an SL here. I won't pretend I know what it is. It's 1962 190 SL, and one of these was owned by Elvis Presley. There you go. It's a 1960 Mercedes-Benz 220 SE Ponton Cabriolet. Ponton was to do with a style of bodywork that didn't have running boards or sticking out fenders. It's completely smooth, which probably was a preemptive modern car design that was much more like this than the older style running boards. And then this is a Pagoda. So 1967 280 SL. This is a 1966 600, and it's a short wheelbase.
Short wheelbase. Yeah,
that's what they call a short wheelbase. These were owned by people like John Lennon and Coco Chanel. Check out that wood there. Curtains, I like that. Curtains in the back. That's what you need in a modern car. Curtains, that's what we're missing. This, believe it or not, got a 6.9 litre engine. This was the car back in the late 70s. So 450 SEL. And you know, back in the day, BMW and Audi didn't have anything that competed with Mercedes. This is a 1986 560 SEC, so basically a two-door version of the S-Class at the time, which was famous for being driven by J.R. Ewing. V8, 300 horsepower from a V8. I get that from my four-cylinder Golf, but that's how things have moved on. I think back in the day a Golf had 112 horsepower, so yeah, nearly a third of what's in this car. We've just found this really cool spectator area here on floor 2. You can see all the tracks in all their glory. So we've got the wet circle down here. We've got the handling track just beyond that. We've got the wet straight and the dry straight on the right there as well. There's also a few areas where younger drivers who don't have a driving license can get their first experience of driving in a very safe environment, dual controls, very speed limited, but yeah, how cool must that be? They can also drive a G-Wagen as well.
Yeah, just have to be 1.5 metres tall.
That's right, that's the only restriction.
You had a 10-year-old here.
Yeah.
That,
a tall 10-year-old. Yeah. You probably won't be surprised to learn that here at Mercedes World we've got a display of Formula One cars, but they're not just cars from Mercedes AMG like this 2021 car with its distinctive black livery. We've got other teams that are powered by Mercedes AMG. So we've got this Force India from 2009. Look how narrow the rear spoiler is. We've got this Williams from 2015. I love that Martini livery. And we've got this McLaren Mercedes from 2006. I love that sort of silver arrows paint job on this car. And then over here, slightly newer, 2015 Mercedes, their classic sort of silver and green and black livery. And not forgetting Formula E, so a pretty good looking car that. The tyres though, are they really narrow? Yeah, that's not much wider than the ones on a Golf, amazing. We're just blown away by this sculpture by Dutch artist Paul Verwoerd, which is an F1 car suspended from the ceiling in its component parts. So you can just spend hours just poring over the little bits and pieces, like just check, there's a nuts just there. The beauty of Mercedes World is that whilst they do have a section for electric vehicles, they don't ram them down your throat. So we've got the current range here with the EQA, EQS, EQB, and just over here, the EQC. It's really easy, they just get bigger the higher they go up the alphabet. But I think for every one electric car, we've got 10 crazy AMGs. The front here, we've got the 2013 SLS AMG Black. It's not actually black, but it's a Black Series car, signifying the top rung of performance. This is going to be a real beast for the road with Cup 2 tyres, got the gull wing doors. And then we have the C63 AMG Black. So yeah, a pretty hardcore looking car. Let's look at the stats then. So 6.2 litre V8, 517 horsepower. Just 66 came to the UK, so it's pretty special. But even though this hasn't got big spoilers, it hasn't got matte paint, this is the one for me. If you watch Top Gear, you might remember an episode where Clarkson drove one of these from London to the end of the country until he ran out of road. So let's have a look at the spec on this then. So 6.2 litre V8, again 507 horsepower, and they made 700 in total from 2007 to 2008. And so it's really got the same power as this car, but without all the bolt-on bits, and I think this makes this car so much cooler. A big part of Formula One these days is the simulator, and that's also the case here at Mercedes World. There are a number to choose from. They range from £6 up to 15. Here you've got the karts for the younger driver, and here you've got the A45 Mercedes for young drivers as well. You can tell by the seats. You've got loads of tracks you can choose from. If you're the older driver, you've got the AMG GT3 Sim. This one's Silverstone. That's pretty cool. And then Formula E, here there's two of these, one at either end of the Formula One. So all this is Formula One. And these are £10 per session, but I think it's worth paying £15 for this, which you can already tell is a serious piece of kit. So we've got 3 screens on this one. You sit in a mock-up of the Formula One car, and this looks like Spa with its red and yellow. pretty cool, that, doesn't it?
Wicked.
How are we going to buy one of those?
Yeah. Save the pennies, I think, for that one.
Oh, we have a winner.
Okay, nice spa, nice easy track.
There we go, it's a 5-lap race. You don't have to worry about any buttons or gears or anything like that. The pedals are the same as they'd be in any other car. And apart from that, any questions?
No, not good.
Alright, we'll get it started for you.
Yeah. Oh,
Give him a bit of his own
he
pennies.
got him. Oh no.
It's so low.
Oh, no rouge, come on, flat.
Oh my god, this is hard. It's so sensitive.
Realistic then. Okay, well, there's only one thing better than the simulator, and that's driving the cars here at Mercedes World. So let's get on the tracks and get driving. As the website suggests, there does appear to be a driving experience for everyone at Mercedes World, even those too young to have a driving licence, who can get behind the wheel for the first time in a very safe environment. And if they're over 1.5 metres tall, they can even have a 30-minute drive in a G-Wagen on the 10-acre off-road course for just £55. If you do have a licence, however, you'll need to choose between a G-Wagen and a fast AMG, though there is a package that lets you do both, which is what Stephen and I split between us. There are also numerous passenger rides available from just £40, but if you come midweek, special offers mean you can do the driving from just £79, and the best bit is that you don't always have to book in advance, so it's wise to do so if you want to be guaranteed a slot. All cars are equipped with cameras which record the view through the windscreen as well as the occupants, and £30 gets you a USB stick containing your footage from the day. It's this footage that makes up the majority of what you're about to see now. Okay guys, this is the G-Wagen Stephen's going to be driving. It's the facelift model, came out in 2018. It's the G400 diesel, 330 horsepower I think, and 700 Newton meters of torque. They put the old model, this is a pre-2018 car, here for us to compare it with. Now the key point is that this is 80% of the original G-Wagen, so it still retains a lot of that car's roots. This, even though it looks very similar, is only 20% of that. That's how much this has been extensively revised. And another key point is that this is much better on road, but it's no worse than this one off-road. It's got independent suspension, it's got electronic traction control as well as the locking diffs. So we'll see what it performs like when Stephen drives it, but it retains all the charm of the older models. So it's got the very square body, the wheel arches, the lights. Instead of the LEDs being underneath the headlights, they're in the headlights now. So yeah, just take in the differences. But yeah, if you like the G-Wagen, like me, you wouldn't have bought an old one because it was just a bit agricultural to drive, but this one is so much better. The thing that makes me laugh is that here, the lights are lovely, proper Mercedes quality, LED as well. Just look at that, and then look over here. We've got like really like tacked on lights with screws like a Metro. So that's kind of the key thing they've done with this car to modernise it. They've brought proper modern Mercedes quality, and the same goes for the interior. This is, by the way, 260 horsepower. That's 330. The interior is all right. It's a bit like a, I don't know, like a C-Class or something from a few years ago. Weirdly, it's got a normal handbrake. It's got a shifter down there. That's kind of weird for a Mercedes. It's okay. Rouge leather's a bit 1980s, but it's got a lot of charm to it. But I don't know, if you're spending this kind of money, which is, I think, getting on for £100,000, you want a bit more. And whilst we've got the external hinges, which they didn't need to do, door handle is still the same. We've got an interior now that looks modern Mercedes, so material quality is way better. We've got the screen in here, and there's obviously some off-road stuff on here that you don't get on that, so you've got, you know, lots of statistics about your driving off-road that you can see here while you're doing it. It's a different world in here, but it still retains a lot of the charm of the car. And yeah, I think if I had the money, I'd definitely be looking at one of these, because I think they're so cool. And like I say, with a new model, you're not really paying the penalty you would do with the old one for how it drives on the road, and it's still just as good off-road. Amazing. Well, let's see how good it really is off-road by going and driving them on the off-road course here at Mercedes World.
Right, we're going to dip into the water crossing and take a right. As we come around, we've got our first incline. So our first incline, this is about 56% of an incline. We normally would line this up and tee this up and tell people not to go in the middle. Obviously this car is as it would be straight from the showroom, so we haven't put purpose-built off-road tyres on the car or anything like that. So being standard summer tyres, we want to try and help the car as much as possible. Even though it's got incredible off-road capabilities, the car is as good as the tyres that contact to the ground. Yeah. So we're not going to go direct in the middle, we'll just be slightly offset to help generate a little bit more grip on a rougher surface. Yeah. And I want you to actually go up here with a very small amount of acceleration. See how much power it takes to get up here. Right, ready when you are then. So slightly to the left, there we go. And then when we get to the bottom, we'll slow right down. Momentum's always going to be your friend. Going up here with a bit of speed will make things easier. Yeah. Let's just demonstrate how the car would get up here at a slow speed. Perfect. That's it. Look at the rev range. You'll see it's about just under 2,000 RPM at this point.
God, see, like,
stop there. What were you about to say?
Easy.
Easy.
Like, there's like no sensation of losing.
That's in high range gears. So basically, changing the gears. This big difference. Took nearly 2,000 RPM to get up here. Now, I want to see how much less you can get up here. So ready when you are. Okay. Start easing into it. So keep that steering wheel over to the right slightly. It's about 2,000 RPM before. Let's see what the difference will be this run round.
God, it's like 1,000.
Yeah, pretty much not far off half the amount of throttle input needed.
God.
For even more torque. Look at that, just over 1,000 RPM compared to nearly
madness, like tick over.
Now, with this exercise, as I say, when you drive into it, don't go loads of power halfway up the slope. It's going to cause wheel slip. Engage the power at the bottom to get a bit of a run, then maintain all the way up and over. Right. That makes sense? Yep. So ready when you are. When we get to the top, it's completely flat. Just keep driving into it now a little bit faster, and now maintain the power there. That's it, just maintain. Nice. Exercise like that, it's not panicking on that point where it starts to struggle, it's just trust the car and hold the throttle and maintain. There's a bit of a misperception when you're up high. It looks like we're going to drive straight into those trees, but we're not. Once the nose starts to dip over the brow, you'll see how we start going away from them, and then we can turn when we get to the bottom. Right. So now, ready when you are, don't come off the brake fully, but just cover the brake and guide the car down the step, and keep pointing straight for me. There we go, perfect. Keep covering that brake. If it starts to build up speed, just push the brake a little bit harder. Nice.
Yeah, I see what you mean about it.
This one, if you watch this car from the outside, you'll go on the side of the car as you go through the grip side.
So we're at 22 degrees. If you roll forward a little bit more, Tilt angle might increase ever so slightly to a little bit higher. Good, keep going. And stop there. Perfect, so 23. Really where I'll start panicking, between 32 to 34 is our sort of peak point where we get a bit too top heavy at that point.
Right.
So we've still got a way to go at 24 degrees. Keeping your foot on the brake, turn the steering wheel all the way around to the right. That's it. Now, we're going to ask the car to cross over diagonally. So ready when you are, slowly release a bit of brake pressure and allow the car to guide over, and we will be driving up the right hand side. Again, having diff locks at this point gives us the ability, even though that front left wheel is coming off the ground right now, to still drive through. That's it, straighten the steering and brake. There we go, nice work. So ready when you are, when you come off the brake, the car will actually start to move straight away before even accelerating. Straighten the steering wheel a little bit. To the left. There we go. Stay to the right side.
There.
Yeah, that's it. And now straighten the steering and just aiming straight on. Right. There. Straight. Just to there, that's it.
It's so easy, isn't it?
It's phenomenal what they're capable of. So, ski slope that we've just approached and arrived at is our steepest slope that we've got here. Now we've been up the left side of the ski slope, but that's a 65%, not degree, 65% gradient.
Yeah.
We've got a 74% gradient at our steepest point here. So ready when you are, we'll start guiding the car over, and don't be afraid to take your time with it so the momentum doesn't have a chance to take over. Perfect. Keep going, keeping that brake covered the whole way. That's it. A little bit more braking. Good. A little bit more braking. Always predict the momentum's going to go, so almost try and grab it just before it goes. That's it. If you need a little mini stop, that's fine. That's it. Keep that going. Keep that going. That's a bit more brake. And then slowly release the brake at the bottom and we'll start rolling away. Good. And then we'll carry on going back through the water crossing here. That's wicked. It's mad what they're capable of, isn't it?
Yeah.
Think, if we put a slightly more purpose-built off-road tyre on the car, it would actually make everything look so easy. Like, we wouldn't actually slide then. We would actually stop physically when you went on the brakes and things like that. But that's the appreciation of remembering we are still on a summer tyre.
Yeah. That is amazing. Yeah.
Now this car has it's called something called wade assist. So it's got a wading depth sensor at 0.6 of a metre.
Okay.
So if the water started barrelling over that sensor, the car would ask you to restrict its speed to 6 miles per hour, so it doesn't produce too much of a barrel wave, so it can come over the bonnet.
Right.
And also the air intake at the front of the car, it will close that off, and it will draw air in higher up at the front, so it will make it so that reducing the risk of sucking in water and flooding the engine. So ready when you are.
How deep is this?
So when we're at the highest point, it would be about 0.5 of a metre, but at this point here right now, I mean, it's a little bit lower than normal, so it's probably about 0.4. So you can see it's just below the doors, sills.
Oh yeah.
Enjoy that?
Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah, I mean, just in awe. I mean, it's so easy. That's the thing, isn't it? It's just effortless.
And if we had a different tyre, easier.
Yeah.
Even easier.
Okay, this is my car to drive today. It's an AMG E63S. So this one's got the drift mode. It's got it's a four-wheel drive car, but you can put it into pure rear-wheel drive mode. So perfect for trying out here on the wet handling circuit at Mercedes World. It's got 612 brake horsepower, 850 Newton meters of torque. And yeah, it's a pretty stealthy car, I would say. Okay, it's got stickers on it now, but take them away. The exhaust is pretty serious, but it's black. So other than that, I love its stealth factor. Right, let's have a quick look inside before we get it sideways. So it's, you know, as restrained in here as it is outside, really. Lots of AMG badging, nice bit of carbon fibre there. So we've got this big screen, which is common now on a lot of Mercedes, and it looks pretty good. Quality is, yeah, very nice. It does have a old school solidity about it. It's very impressive. Right, let's see how impressive it is to drive though. Okay, I'm in the AMG E63S. My instructor is Jack Barlow, and he's going to guide me around the many varied courses here at Mercedes World. So tell us a bit about the car.
So E63S that we're in right now, it's quite crazy to call it a family saloon, but it is with the amount of space and luxury that we've got in here. It's currently using Mercedes Halo engine, which is its 4 litre bi-turbo V8. We've got 612 horsepower from that 4 litre bi-turbo V8. It is 4MATIC, so it's all-wheel drive. It's a rear bias car that transfers drive to the front axle when it's necessarily needed. Obviously you'll get a feeling of that today when we're out in the facilities. It also has got a drift mode, so we can make it 100% rear-wheel drive, which we're going to need to do when we head out onto our wet skid circle as well, and have some fun looking at that oversteer element to what we're going to be doing today. So what's your main focus with what we're about to do today?
I bought a Porsche Boxster a couple of months ago, and it's rear-wheel drive. I'm used to driving front-wheel drive, so I really want to get the feel for rear-wheel drive and how you know, the transition from grip to slip. I don't want to be scared of that car's rear drive chassis. I want to enjoy it, and I don't feel I can learn that safely on the road. So whilst this is 4-wheel drive, we've got the drift mode that'll give us 100% rear drive. So it's the easiest, safest, cheapest way, I think, to be able to get rear-wheel drive experience.
And actually having access to that level of training is not, like you say, it's not easy and it's not cheap. First exercise we're going to do is we're going to go down this straight as fast as we possibly can. When I say brake, I want you to stop as fast as you can. Okay. So it's a very simple exercise of accelerating and braking. If this was a rear-wheel drive car, there will be an element of feeding the power in that we'll need to incorporate. This is all-wheel drive, so I want you to go full power immediately. Okay. Full power, off we go. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Sorry.
And brake.
I just wanted to brake well before we hit the
do you know what?
barriers.
90% of the people we get here, first run they always do. Not only do you have to trust the car today, you have to trust me. But those barriers come up straight. Now look how far away we are.
We're like, we haven't gone much further than that gap I've just left.
But what you'll find is with road driving, when do you ever maximise the performance of the brakes in your car?
Never.
A lot of people maximise the accelerating performance, but braking performance is something that's quite rare. So we're actually way out of tune with what modern cars are capable of. Not just an AMG, but what all performance modern cars are capable of. So there's the first one. Let's drive away. We'll go down to the exit at the end. We'll loop back. We're going to go do that again. Okay. All right. It's a nice way to build the confidence.
Yeah. I'll trust you this time.
All right. You ready?
Yep.
Off we go. Keep going now. Keep going. Confidence. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Great. Good man. So, by all means, this is not me telling you that there's ever any necessary need to ever take your hands off the wheel by braking hard. But what this is demonstrating is that by braking hard, we don't need to fight the car. That when our hands are on the wheel, we can stay relaxed, and the car is going to go where you want it to. Right, you ready?
Yep.
Off we go, full power. Good, staying in the centre. Good, keep going, keep going, keep going. Slap brakes, hand off. Nice, a lot better. Well done.
We stayed in the lane, that's the key thing, isn't it? Generally driving.
A lot better, well done. We're ahead off.
Manic.
Good, now, because we're on the circuit, thumbs now go into a 2/4 fixed position. Even on the tight corners, your arms cross over, but you're going to have more accuracy and precision by keeping your hands here. I want you, as you cruise around, to start using what you think is the racing line. Now, have you heard and learnt the racing line before?
Yeah, just depends what you call track limits.
Track limits will be white lines. I like that you're pushing boundaries already, this is good. Now, you see I was a bit on and off of the throttle mid-corner. Balance it, be patient. Increase, increase, increase. Good. Brake before. Imagine imagine there is a big sponge of water under your right foot that you're squeezing out.
That was the brakes.
612 horsepower that we need to squeeze and build up.
It's got a very sharp throttle when you bury it.
Yeah. And again, because you've got all-wheel drive, once you're pointing where you want to go, you can afford and you can get away with being quick on the throttle. You can't do that mid-corner though, because that four-wheel drive will just take you exactly where you're pointing, regardless of how much you're turning. So still, when you're going through the corner, like a rear-wheel drive, balance the throttle and then increase.
And you're on the brakes pretty quickly, aren't you?
Yeah.
It feels a bit.
Be with your feet between those corners one after the other, the better. Next. Look at the next corner. Hug the inside here.
Yeah.
Balance the power. Now increasing now. Brake before. Look where the corner goes. Look to the exit. Balance the power and increase on the exit. Maintain the power through this bend. More power. Stay full to the orange cones. Keep going. Brake hard. And slowly roll the brakes out. How's that?
I'm sure you could do it better than me, but that felt like I was braking as late as possible.
No, that was good. That was actually nice. The wet circle. It's a huge roundabout covered in black ice. It's the easiest way to describe it.
Yeah.
Of course, we've got all-wheel drive right now that you've experienced on the circuit. It's very forgiving in the sense of when you're pointing where you want to go, you can get on the throttle. Even saying that, we still want to be smooth with the throttle because we're in a 2-ton car with 612 horsepower, so it can upset you still. But in saying that, we're going to turn ESP completely off and put the E63S into drift mode, which is going to be 100% rear-wheel drive.
So no stability, no front wheels helping out.
So this will start looking at your control. How easy the car goes sideways for one, but not only how easy the car goes sideways, how well can you control it.
Yeah.
Now, before we head on, an E63S has to be into race mode, it has to be manual, and then hold the ESP button for 3 seconds roughly for the system to turn fully off. Now, on the steering wheel, pull both paddles together and hold them, let go, pull the right paddle once. Now this car is 100% rear-wheel drive. Right, let's head on. We're going to go straight into that middle lane. I want you to aim for a speed of 12 to 13 miles per hour. It's going to feel like you're walking. If you press OK on the right side of the steering wheel, get rid of both acknowledgements one more time, and then keeping the speed a bit low, we're going to grab second gear. There, perfect. So for this first exercise, I want you to cause the car to go into a slide and then correct it.
Okay then.
You ready?
Yeah.
Power.
Yeah, that's quite slippery, man.
Super slippy. This is like riding a bike. When you first learn to ride a mountain bike, when you've got your parents there pushing you away and you're falling off, pushing you away, falling off, it's like, what am I achieving here? And then eventually, it clicks. This is the same. This will just click and it will become a lot easier.
Have we got time for this, to learn that today?
Depends on how quick of a learner you are. You're doing good at the moment,
Good.
but at the moment, let's just try and build this confidence in catching the car and feeling the body. Alright, so 12 miles per hour. Look where you want to go. Power. Off the power, steer with it. Roll out of the power. And straighten the wheel smoothly.
Oh.
Go, let's do it. Good, there he is. Control that. Nice. Keep looking ahead, round the curve.
Oh.
That's the other adjustment.
Infuriating. One more go, please. One more.
Right, let's give it one more go. Go. Right, slow down, slow down.
Getting too excited now.
Go. Right, bit more, too much. Too much. Lucky. Turn right. It's challenging, isn't it?
Yeah. Very. But it's great because it's so slow and it just learns you everything you need to know. Teaches you everything you need to know.
And that's the great thing, is if you spin here, you've not got any worries about hitting anything. It's really quite open and relaxed.
Well, that's the end of our day here at Mercedes World, and it's been a good one, hasn't it?
Fantastic day, really enjoyable. So much to see. I mean, the driving experience alone was amazing. Newfound love for the G-Wagen. But yeah, there's so much to see and doing there. Really, really good day out. Really enjoyed
What
it.
was your favourite bit?
I mean, driving the G-Wagen was something else. Seeing what that thing can do on road tyres on an off-road course is just unbelievable. But
You can just turn up, you don't even have to book, just flash your driving licence and you can get behind the wheel of a G-Wagen and go down a 70-degree slope. It's mental, isn't it?
yeah, really,
you don't
really
even
good.
need a driving licence if you're a younger driver as well. That's just so cool as well.
Yeah.
For me, the highlight was the Formula One car and its component parts suspended from the ceiling. It's like an art, isn't it, really?
You could spend half an hour just looking at the detail in that. It's astonishing.
Yeah.
That's worth a visit in its own right.
It is, because you see Formula One cars on TV, but you never really see them broken down to their component parts.
Unbelievable.
And that's pretty exceptional, yeah. But driving, I didn't drive the G-Wagen, I've got to come back. We spent all day here and I still haven't done everything, but I've got a reason to come back. So I want to drive the G-Wagen, although following you in close proximity on the course was actually probably almost a better view than yours.
Yeah.
Because watching you come down that slope was just crazy. But yeah, so much to see. And it's free if you don't want to drive. You can just come here, sit at this picnic table with your picnic, watch people spinning around on that track there. Yeah, it's cool. So yeah, I'm going to come back sometime. Are you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway guys, thanks as ever for watching this Volks Wizard video. If you've enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, please do comment, please do share. As ever, please subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one very soon. Big thanks to Stephen for joining me today.
Thank you. Been a great day.